Ganondorf, a name that shook many civilians and struck fear into people. Well, mostly in game. Throughout the Smash games, Ganondorf has had good times and his bad, stylish points in Melee mostly, bad times in Brawl, and pretty amazing in... And in Smash 4, he's reasonably alright, but in need of a few buffs, honestly. Now, everyone that has played the Zelda games knows of the true Ganondorf, and if they move over to Smash, they can easily see that Ganondorf is not the same in any of those aspects. Nerfed severely from moving over games, but Smash isn't canon, so they had to nerf him because of how broken he was in the Zelda games. Now, my role is to show you guys how strong canon Ganon is. So I have to give this whole talk about the whole Zelda timeline and how Ganon is, but these games have been out for a while, so they will have a few spoilers here and there, but come on, there's honestly not that much spoilers. It's like a freaking Mario game. So, beginning with Skyward Sword. In that game, the main antagonist was not Ganondorf, but he was Ganondorf in a sense. Demise was the main antagonist of the game, and in the end where he is beaten, he leaves with a few quotes, but mostly the important one is this.
Those like you, those who share the blood of the goddess and the spirit of the hero, they are eternally bound to this curse. An incarnation of my hatred shall forever follow your kind, dooming them to wander a lonesome sea of darkness for all time!
The whole timeline of Zelda was bound to be cursed by the incarnation of Demise. That incarnation was Ganondorf. That's the reason why there's gonna be multiple Links, but there's only one Ganondorf. He's just reincarnated into different ways, but it's the same Ganondorf at heart. Now look at every Legend of Zelda game where Ganondorf comes back. Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past, The Legend of Zelda, that really old version, Twilight Princess, Four Swords plus Hyrule Adventure, I don't even know what that is, and Wind Waker. Plus the only era where there was no hero but there was a Ganondorf, Hyrule was sealed and flooded, which leads to the era of the Great Sea, which was Wind Waker. So that just goes to show you that no matter how many times Ganondorf is killed, he's just gonna come back anyways. The era has to be lucky to even have a hero to be able to survive, or a Link in that case, because without a hero they stand no chance against Ganondorf and his powers. Well, there you go. A demon king that's always coming back due to a curse put onto not the land, but onto the blood of the heroes and the blood of the princesses. Now, to get into the powers, strengths, abilities of Canon Ganon, we're gonna have to split them up by the games and we'll just mash them up all together, because one Ganon together is just all broken and stuff, and I love it that way. In Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf has many abilities even before he got the Triforce of Power. There's moments of where he's blasting Link with dark magic and he plagues many places with monsters and all that, like the Great Deku Tree or Dodongo's Cavern. Dodongo. Then he got an upgrade once he acquired the Triforce of Power. He was able to create countless monsters, release Bongo Bongo, imprison and warp Zelda, and open up a portal to another dimension. He also has the ability to transform into Ganon, which is that giant boar version of himself. Not that one, but the other one. And then there's Beast Ganon, which is Twilight Princess though, so it's totally different. Also, he can create Phantom Ganon, who is also a copy of himself, and along with that, he has the ability to collapse the whole floor of his room with just one punch. And it's not made to be like that, even though it looks like it's supposed to fall down altogether and all of its planets. It was the N64, they had to do these type of things. And one thing that I had to do to make sure how strong he was to see how much the castle weighed, because if you remember in the battle with Ganondorf and Ooze, you remember that the castle had fell onto Ganondorf, and with a burst of power he shrugged all of that weight off and came out as menacing as possible. Now here's the thing about that castle. That's a castle. The weight of that much stone is probably ridiculous, so I took it upon myself to see exactly how much it was, and trust me, it took a very long time. Because first you have to find the height of each set, and to find the height I had to stack 2 links together, and to get like the whole width I had to put multiple links all across the thing, because it's not easy to get that. And once you do that, you gotta find like what type of material it is and stone, and you do cubic feet and all that. Look, I'm just gonna give you guys the answer about it. So now for the outside of the castle, it came around 564.5 tons, and for the insides I couldn't get it exactly, so due to the sizings we're gonna guesstimate for around 3/5 of the size outside of the castle, so around 338.7 tons. Now converting all of that together to pounds would then be 1,806,400 pounds. Now imagine almost 2 million pounds falling onto you. Ganondorf came out of that with no scratches and nothing at all. But here's the thing, Ganondorf can't even get hurt by those things. Ganondorf can only get mortally wounded by items blessed by the gods, like the light arrows, the master sword, the Triforce itself, the silver arrows, and the Force sword. Now you can get a general idea for all this together. Ganondorf is nearly immortal. He just has to get those 2 other pieces of the Triforce to achieve a point of where he can't even get harmed by those said god items. In Wind Waker, Ganondorf had to rely more on his physical abilities throughout the game. Having the ability to dual wield massive swords benefited him mostly in his fights. His other attributes in the game were mostly on curses. He also took a giant fire blast from Velu, this giant sky spirit dragon thing, and you know, fire from a dragon would pretty much hurt. I would go in depth with the whole, I mean, it would probably kill a person like 50 times over, but Ganondorf just shrugged it off and all. Twilight Princess had shown a better example of what Ganondorf can do with the Triforce of Power. With it, he was able to survive his execution, kill one of the ancient sages, give entities immortality as long as he's alive. Didn't do that with Zant though. Can alter and mess with the land, and can make himself into the demon boar version of himself, you know, the final Smash one basically. And along with that, he goes unrivaled to anyone in Hyrule, except for Link. So, to sum up Ganondorf, there's a reason why he didn't really lose anything even when he did die. His powers always returned, and even some of them got stronger when compared to past iterations of himself. Unrivaled strength, the ability to curse both people and places, sword wielder, warlock with strong magical abilities. For the majority, he is immortal, but he's vulnerable to weapons blessed by the gods, has the ability to bring back demons that have died before, can give beings immortality if he's alive. And as a side note, in Twilight Princess, he was able to get strength off of the hatred that the Twilight people had in general and on him. The last thing is the Triforce of Power itself. If you go through the games, you notice that when any time Ganondorf has suffered a lot of damage and mortal wounds, or something that could kill a person 1,000 times over, the Triforce shines on his hand and gives him a huge boost after it happens. So what do you get when you put this all together? You get a warlock, a general that can create an army off of dead beings and just keep on bringing them back and forth, because they're just demons. An immortal being, basically. A demon king that gets power off of hatred. And to sum it up, a Gerudo with ridiculous strength that has been bestowed with the Triforce of Power. Now, this is where I put the character into a tier list of strengths to where the Smash cast, and I would put Ganondorf in A tier because he's definitely stronger than any of those superhuman characters that I have yet to do. But he's not S tier because S tier is usually made for some type of planet destroyer or something that has powers to escalate to that. Ganondorf is pretty strong in the spirit world also, having the ability to manipulate almost anyone and destroy any being on Earth that isn't the hero's blood. Plus, when he does defeat the hero, it creates an era of where he just gets defeated again anyways, so he's a losing winner. And that's the end of it. So far we have 2 characters on Outside of Smash, and I'm going to be doing way more, and this time I'm not going to be taking a huge break between it because these are the videos that I want to be making now. And I want to be focusing more on this type of stuff, and because it's more fun getting this type of information, even though it took me like a long time. That was because of hiatus, and plus the video file corrupted for this video, so I had to redo the whole thing all over again, re-record everything, and I was like, oh my god, it took a very, very long time. I want you guys to put in the comments about any character that you guys want, and by any character, I mean any character, not even, it doesn't have to be Smash characters anymore. You guys can literally put any character from any game, and if it gets enough upvotes or whatever, totally fine. You guys can ask me, like, what is it called? It can be Shadow if you wanted to. There's that. You can ask me like some from, I guess, Dualism from Street Fighter, King from, what is it, Tekken? Something like that. The leopard guy. Literally anybody from any game. I guess any show, I'm totally fine with whatever. I just want to make this type of video, like these type of videos, because it's really entertaining for me to see like what kind of information can I get off of these type of characters, and like it's interesting to know like what their highest ability is and like how strong they would be if like they were in our world and all that stuff. And basically, yeah. So just put in your comments or whatever. I'm going to be back with another one of these as soon as people give me a character to do. I'm going to be working on that. And I'm also going to be putting a poll on Twitter to see which character to do next. So I need you guys to go do that and all. I'm probably gonna be putting the Twitter status thing in the in the comment section, so you guys can click on that and vote for that. Follow me on Twitter for any more updates and stuff like that, and other stuff in general. And that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. So peace out and Godspeed.